What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige with the Page, and today we're going to be doing Cluedo Chooses my March and April TBR. Hello my darlings, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be doing Cluedo Chooses my March and April TBR, and woo, I have many things happening in March that I need this to work in my favour for. So fingers crossed that Cluedo is nice to me. If you are new to my Cluedo Chooses, I will leave the playlist link down below as well as the previous versions. This is the second video for this playthrough, and so I need to recap how I did in the last 2 months and then get into the gameplay. Hello my darlings, welcome to Cluedo, I'm so excited! So I need to talk through how last month went, or the last 2 months, and then we will get into the gameplay. So I ended up in the lounge and I needed to read Foundry Side and the Book of Magic, and I did read both of those. So I can reveal that we have the first two reveals is the library and the kitchen. Whip, whip, whip. Hey, that already takes both of the last two rooms out. And then I traveled over to the conservatory and I needed to read Bitter and the Lost World. I have read Bitter, but I have not read The Lost World, and this is being pushed. So this is the first time that I don't think I've revealed both cards. So now I have to make my way back into this room to be able to get it, but I can reveal this one. So, whoop, we've got the lead pipe. And then in the billiard room, I needed to read I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Naz Rishi for my Read It or Unhaul It, and I did read it and unhaul it. And I needed to read my February Patreon buddy read, which was The Divine Comedy or Somewhere Beyond the Sea. However, I have read neither of those. But because I have read I Hope You Get This Message, I can reveal this one, which is the dining room. So I still need to come back and collect these cards, but I at least revealed one of each. The other component, I can give myself grace, absolutely. Everyone would be fine for me too. I moved house, like we bought and moved
and set up a house.
In
a week.
In January and February, and so I did not complete my daily movement for 1 month. I didn't complete 4 days in February, and I think I didn't complete 4 or 5 days in January. So if I count it from like the 7th, I might have, but regardless, what I'm gonna do is let Ash add for his traps. He'll have a D20, and I went to say a D12, and a D6. So he can roll those and combine them to have the set number of traps. So with that, I need to find out who I'm playing with. Ash needs to roll his traps and then we'll get into it. Also, one other caveat, which hasn't actually come into play, with our traps, I normally cap it at 4. We're just gonna see what happens and then work with that information from there. So I'm gonna roll and see who I'm playing as. It's gonna be a 5. I can feel it in my loins. Oh, it's a 3. Mrs. White. I need to collect 2 weapons. Swap a prompt for a challenge book. I have to go into 2 rooms with weapons. And normally I have to go into 3 rooms to get the cards, but I might aim to have a total of 6 cards, depending. I'll swap these over. All right. I don't know which one you wanna roll. There's an Ash hand. Right. Do I look? Do I not look? I'm scared to look. Do I want to know?
You can know.
Oh, lucky number 13. That's petrifying.
So,
Cool.
13. Time to
Set your traps.
play 13 traps. Okay, you gotta go to 2 rooms with weapons in it. And there's so many options. Are you gonna want to try and do your 2 1-card rooms again? Or are you gonna try and get the other cards first and then come back to them later? Okay. Alright, camera. Here is the results of my traps. It is time to play.
Okay, roll number 1 of I don't know how many. I knew that was gonna fucking happen. Is it a trap? There's only 1 door.
No, it's not.
Oh shit, I had it covered.
Which door is the trap under?
Both?
That's a trap.
No! Why am I so surprised? Alright. Here we go.
Because the other one wasn't.
Pet pick. Jolly good. You is pet. Alright. fuck me. That really, yep. That was a lot that happened, and as you saw, for roll number 1, I got a 1. Obviously it was a trap, and I got pet pick. And for that, Ash immediately volunteered as tribute, and he has said for me to read The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. I am quite excited to dive into this fantasy series. I don't know much about it. I do believe that the characters are ones that people get very attached to, and I know that there's a heist element to it, but that is it. That is all I know about this. So I'm going in blind, but it has been picked by my pet, and I am very excited because this also was something that I needed to read. So he did me a solid. This is also coming off his shelves. On to roll number 2. It's a fucking 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 1 weapon and 1 card. Okie dokie. So for roll number 2, ended up back in the conservatory, and I only need to pick 1 book for this because it's only for 1 card. And for that, I'm putting on Shorefall by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the second in the Foundryside trilogy that I'm reading for BookStara. We're reading this in March. I cannot wait. This is, yes. I'm so excited. This is just the perfect pick, and I am in love with these characters, and I need to read this book ASAP. I have wanted to dive straight into it, but thankfully February for me went up in smoke because buying a house, moving, all of that. And so now I get to enjoy it in March with BookStara, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. This is brilliant. This is following Sandria as she navigates a whole lot of physics-based mechanics. And where the last one ended, I need answers. On to roll number 3. It's a 2. Oh, this is gonna hurt. 1, 2. Ooh. Not a trap?
Not a trap.
Oh, okay. That one. Oh, science fiction. So for roll number 3, I got science fiction, and I panicked for a second because I don't read a lot of science fiction. I don't have much on my TBR, but one thing I do have on my TBR for Roll of Reads is All Systems Red by Martha Wells, the first in the Murderbot Diaries. I cannot wait to get into this sassy character and just see what this series is all about. This is Ren's favourite for the host pick, so really glad that it worked for sci-fi. On to roll number 4. Is it 3? 1, 2. Thank God. So I have collected 2 weapons, so I'm right to finish this however I see fit. Oh shit, I just did the ballroom. If I get Mrs. Scarlet,
you're gonna have to come back through.
Oh fuck. For roll number 4, we ended up in the ballroom. So I just need to add 2 books that I would like to read. The first I'm going with Word of Honor by Michael Pratt. This is the 3rd in the Laws of Magic series, and this is doing like quadruple duty for my TBR. I'm very excited, very happy, and so I obviously thought, you know, it's gonna kill all of the birds and all of the stones, so I'm gonna put it on. I don't really remember too much of this series aside from the fact we're following Aubrey and George, so I'll be very curious to dive back into this and see what I can remember, because I do really enjoy the series. I just have a tendency to wait years between reading the books. The other book that I'm going to put on is The Cat Who Saved Books by Suzuki Natsukawa, and this is going to be for the Buzz cover, I think, with books on the cover, and also fulfilling the translator prompt for Roll of Reads. I'll also leave my Roll of Reads TBR link down below, but I'm trying to get a lot of double up. So I don't know anything about this. I just know that I'm very excited to pick it up and see how we go. So this is on the list. On to roll number 5. It's too hot to be doing this, I'm stressed. 3. One, 2, 3.
You say.
I apologize that you can see the tops of the traps. The prompts, I promise I'm not looking. Mrs. White! For roll number 5, I ended up getting Mrs. White, which was funny that we were playing with her simultaneously. And I have a few options, but I think the one that I'm going to go for is also on the rollerblades, but is Strong Female Character by Fern Brady. Now, she is not a maid. If anything, it looks like she is chaotic and did stripping and spicy food and gets addicted to the Xanax. So, very polar opposite of the visual of Mrs. White. But a strong female character is what I feel like Mrs. White is. She's so just unassuming, but she's there and she's clever. And also, I feel like there could be the potential with rigid thinking, and just having that strong female essence is really where I've made these connections. I had plenty of options, but I thought this would be good. I also do think that whilst Fern Brady is not elderly, they are a slightly older person when writing this book, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll let you know once I read it. On to roll number 6. Is a 5. I'm just gonna do it. 1, 2, 3. So that's the billiard room. I'm gonna go for 6 cards.
Okay.
For roll number 6, we ended up in the billiards room, and again, I only needed 1 book for this one. So I'm tentatively putting on A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. This is not on my Rollerblades TBR, but there are things happening in the works, and this and another book currently competing. So I thought I'd put this on. And I adore T. Kingfisher's writing. I do absolutely want to get to this. So, very happy to have it on the list. Is it on the absolute stack of things that I needed to read this month? No. But I could always read it in April if I need to as well. I have this flexibility. I gotta remember that, because sometimes I panic. And I really have no idea about the premise, aside from the fact that it's a very unusual mother-daughter dynamic and toxic. I'm excited. On to roll number 7. Fuck me. Is it 2? One, 2.
You're safe.
What? How am I safe? Okay, 1 prompt card, here we go. This works out perfectly. I got book already started. Oh, that makes me so happy. So for roll number 7, I got very lucky because it is the prompt of a book already started. And I have Chocolat by Joanne Harris that I am continuing into March. I originally put it on for a Cluedo pick or a bookish peep for January, February, and I realized that it spanned over February and March, so I decided to extend it out. But it is a book I have already started, so I will be able to roll that over nice and easy into March. On to roll number 8. If I roll a 1, I'm fucked. If I roll anything else, I'm good.
Number 1.
Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Trap.
Nay! Why did that jolt?
You couldn't go backwards and it wasn't a trap. You knew
And I knew that. Why am I like this? I'm autistic! I've got to go forward! I can't go back!
You would have ended up with a prompt ticket anyway. You might as well make it
entertaining. Alright, so Pep goes back in, and I'm gonna just take him out.
So I pick for you. Highest rated.
Okay. Highest rated. I'm so glad I don't have the Stormlight Archive books on my TBR. So for roll number 8, I rolled a 1 and I got a trap of highest rated. Technically, I have an arc that's not out yet that is my highest rated. I'm not gonna do that to myself. The next is the last book in the entire Realm of the Elderlings series by Robin Hobb, which I'm not up to. And the book that I'm up to has a 4.1, which is significantly lower than the 4.5 that this book is. So, 3rd highest rated, can read it. Ash was gonna put it on for Pet Pick when I mentioned it, so we just went with that. And that is The Happiest Man on Earth by Eddie Jaku. I think that this is going to be a really beautiful memoir. I know that it's gonna probably hurt me in my soul in like the most fantastic way. And yeah, this was as Eddie turned 100 and just a memoir of his life. And I think it's going to be so just feelings, so many feelings. So I can understand why it's the highest rated and I'm very excited for it. But I'm also aware of the fact that I'm not gonna be okay. On to roll number 9. Roll number 9 for shits and gigs is a fucking 4. 1 and 2 cards for there. So for roll number 9, we ended up in the library, so I just need to pick 2 books. The first I'm going to pick is On a Quiet Street by Serafina Nova Glass, and this is for a particular readathon that I'll leave linked down below, and to read for their seasonathon group book each round. And I am very excited to be able to read this and have a chat with the author or watch it on playback if the time zones don't necessarily match up to my waking hours. But I'm really excited. I know nothing about it. I think it's a domestic thriller and that's all I've got, and one of the protagonists in it is called Paige. The other book that I'm going to add is The Interrogation of a Charlotte Wolf by Amberlynn Qualamina. I really don't know anything about this story. I just know that Mel absolutely loves it, and so for Roll of Reads it was a potential to put it on, so it's going on the Cluedo. Doubling up everywhere humanly possible. I'm very excited to dive into this series and see what it's all about, but in terms of knowledge on it, I have absolutely none. So this plus All Systems Red, Chocolat, and On a Quiet Street are the things that I'm hoping to get to for Cluedo over March and April. And I do love the thematic, the color dark palette, aside from the blue popping in there, but that's me. I always have a pop of blue floating around. I can't wait to get to this TBR. I'm feeling so invigorated, and my reading definitely took a backseat in February, so it's nice to be excited again and be able to dive into this sort of stuff once again. I cannot wait. So thank you so much for your patience with me throughout this last month where I've been completely MIA, but I hope that, you know, we're back on track. You're getting TBR videos left, right and center. My Patreon's getting their readathons announced finally, even though I meant to do it 3 weeks ago. It's all happening. It's all happening in here. I would love to hear what books are on your TBR for March, and if you've planned far enough for April, I've got a few that I'm assigning there, but we definitely tried to double up as much as humanly possible, because where we can make it sit, it will fit. So yeah, let me know anything you want to let me know about the TBR, what your TBRs are looking like, any other readathons you're participating in. I'd love to hear it all in the comments down below. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you on my next video or over on my Patreon. Bye!